It Takes a Small Town by Margot Hadfield of Termeil 2539. Narrated by Janine Penfold. Medley, mixed bag, assortment, variegation. All these words are synonyms for diversity. They evoke positive images. An assortment of fine chocolates, for example, a mixed bag of sweets, a variegated leaf, a medley of tunes. Diversity in all its forms is a positive force, a force we should embrace and celebrate. It is, after all, the very foundation of our existence. If you doubt this, go out one fine morning into a garden, a park, or the bush. Observe the shapes and colours of the plants, listen to the calls of the birds and insects, and feel the life-giving warmth of the sun. Get down on the ground, if you can manage it, and grasp a handful of soil. If it is healthy soil, you will be holding in the palm of your hand possibly 100 million different life forms. Microscopic bacteria, strands of fungi, protozoa, nematodes, arthropods, and earthworms. These largely unseen creatures work non-stop to produce the rich soil which nourishes the forests, pastures and crops on which all animals and humans depend. Without this underground diversity, the soil would lose its fertility and plants and animals would fail to thrive, resulting in land degradation. Unfortunately, due to climate change and destructive agricultural practices, this is happening around the globe today. Scientists are worried about the lack of biodiversity threatening our future. We should all be worried. 6 years ago, being a keen gardener, I moved from the city to a block of land in the country, hoping to grow my own food and live more sustainably. I began learning how to regenerate the soil, improving its ability to retain carbon, water and nutrients, and increasing its health and productivity. It will take the rest of my life to get it right, but I am excited by the challenge and look forward to the journey. With countless other enthusiastic gardeners and farmers following the same principles, I am cautiously optimistic we may be able to repair the damage to this precious resource. It is heartening that so many people are keen to foster diversity in our natural environment. Now, we need to turn our attention to celebrating the diversity of another vital resource, ourselves. During the tough years of COVID, we have forgotten that we need healthy, vibrant communities as much as we need healthy, fertile soil. When I moved to the country, I brought with me the experience of 30 years of teaching. During my career, I invariably found the best schools were those that valued every student, regardless of their ability or background. You could always tell a good school by how they treated the students who struggled, whether due to learning difficulties, mental health, or cultural differences. The acceptance of diversity benefited the whole school community, fostering an atmosphere of goodwill where students and teachers were willing to learn from each other. Living in a small town is similar to working in a school. It is safe and familiar, but an energising variety gives the town life and character. Like an inclusive school, a thriving small town accepts all sorts of people and allows everyone the chance to be a valued member of the community. Our country town may seem homogeneous on the surface, especially when swamped by summer visitors. In reality, it is a medley of cultures and lifestyles. It is the First Nations Yuin people, sharing their stories and thriving despite enormous odds. It is the old settler families whose names are found on streets and lanes. It is the descendants of the Italian migrants who arrived in the 50s and 60s to work in the fishing industry. It is the visitors who came for a holiday last century and never left. The young couples who moved from the city when it became so expensive, and the retired sea and tree changers, like me, enjoying the food and wine. It is the recent migrants from the Pacific and Southeast Asia who struggle to find employment and accommodation. It is musicians, artists and writers inspired by the natural environment. It is tradesmen, checkout operators, nurses and truck drivers who keep our services running. It is the members of the LGBTQIA+ tribe who add colour and life to community gatherings, and the weary young mothers and overworked teachers raising the next generation of kids. It is the CWA, the RFS, the community centre, the showground, and the 260-million-year-old mountain, Didthal, watching over the town from the west. All this diversity enhances the positive energy in our community and makes me smile. You can learn so much from people who are different to you. For our young people to grow with confidence and strength, they need numerous examples of how people can live and thrive. Yes, it does take a small town to bring up children. The narrow-minded ideas espoused by politicians and leaders who should know better will never make our communities stronger. Only diversity can do that. Those who are suspicious or fearful of diversity would prefer that everyone resembled them and behaved and believed as they do. If this came to pass, our society would be like a monoculture, a vast field with endless rows of identical plants, artificially irrigated, drenched with chemicals and fertilisers, apparently healthy, but growing in lifeless soil. As an older Australian, I have experienced multiple changes in my lifetime, most of them for the better. I have been lucky, but the next generations may not be so fortunate. The immense challenges facing us now demand courageous, creative solutions. We will need strong local communities and an assortment, a medley, a mixed bag of variegated people and ideas to pull us through. Let's hope everyone realises that, just like our soil, our strength is in our diversity. The end.